Hey, I'd like to welcome you to CMS IT Weekly number 12. I'm Tim Smith.
And I'm Jake Standish.
It's good to have you. It's good to have you with us today, Jake. I'm glad you made it in. Boy, are your arms tired.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, today we're going to be talking about content creation. We've been researching the internet and really excited about resources that we've found, and we've been sharing a lot of those resources throughout the last half of the year here. And now we really believe it's important to come together and talk about creating content.
Right. So, yeah, with the National Technology Plan and all these new standards and expectations of 21st century learning skills that need to be happening, the theme that we keep finding over and over is that creating content, or at least taking content and remixing it into your own interpretation, is crucial. It is an important thing, and I've been kind of exploring this idea because, I mean, as a teacher, I understand how hard it is to take the time for this when you're preparing for standardized tests and everything else. But I came across some interesting information.
Yeah, I thought this was really cool. Jake's been talking about content creation, and he's all like, "Hey, Tim, we've been working on our blogs, we've been working on our Twitters, we've been working on creating and synthesizing and remixing content. Well, what about if somebody else was to do it for us?" And he showed me the site.
Yes, so it's grade A content. They're just the first site that I found. There are many services out there. This company will actually write blogs for you. They'll write Twitter posts for you.
I don't get it.
So a 500-word article.
Yeah.
It's going to cost you $8.
Jake, this is wrong.
If you want them to write your 500-word blog, I'm sorry, not even 500, 150 word.
Dude, 150
blog.
Words is barely anything.
That's disappointing.
Like
you expect your students to write more than that, but a 150-word blog would cost $4.
Jake, this is just so wrong. This takes the idea of like having someone write your term paper for you and just totally makes it worse. I mean, the point of content creation is the fact that I have found things that I'm interested in, and I'm trying to think them through, and I need to work them out. And part of that working out is posting a tweet, or writing a blog post, or reading someone else's thoughts and writing a comment. I'm blown away that other people...
Well, if we do our jobs right, as educators, our students will look at a website like this, a service like this, and consider it absurd.
Absurd indeed. Because I found it pretty absurd myself.
So
now, one of the first things I found about you, Jake, Jake being a chemistry teacher for the last 5 years here in CMS, we were talking about students taking information, creating information, and we hear about this stuff all over the place. And I know many teachers out there are having their students do some cool stuff. And you had your students, or some of your students, chose to do.
Right. So content creation can happen in a lot of different ways. And
different media.
One of the things that I'm most proud of as a teacher is I shared with my students this lame song. It was a remix of 99 Bottles of Beer to the solubility rules of compounds. I know, it's exciting stuff. But kids, they were like, "This is so lame. We can write better than this." And I said, "Well, go for it.
Have at it." That's right.
And so they did. And they wrote this awesome video. Now, the content of the video is not as impressive. I'm sorry, the video isn't impressive as what they wrote, the lyrics, and their singing's pretty good too. Auto-tune does a great job.
Auto-tune indeed.
but I'm really proud of the creativity that they put into this song about periodic trends.
It's a periodic trend.
Indeed.
And I've been thinking about it, that these guys made this video in about a week, and it kind of set the tone for the classroom after that. I mean, everyone really got into making, they just stepped up their game and creating content. And then, when I wrote the recommendation, of course, I bring this up, they share it in their applications. I think, in a big way, this helped them get into their universities. Some of them are at Chapel Hill, UNC. So it was a good place for them. They're very proud of it. And there's still comments on it. I mean, people are saying, "Yeah, my teacher just showed this to me, and you guys are great." So it's something that they will always have, and it's powerful, the value of it.
Yes, fun.
And it was all just spur of the moment. They said, "Oh, I can write a better one. Go for it."
That's right. Put the challenge out there.
It's theirs. I mean, they're proud of it, and
indeed. Jake's been talking about students, and we've talked about both students and teachers need to be creators of content, and oftentimes we fly through different stuff. Sorry about that. We have some problems here. We found this site. It's really kind of a fun one. We haven't played too much with it. I've downloaded a few of these into my...
So the site being Flexbook.
Correct.
Is the product.
CK12.
CK12.org.
CK12.org. We found this site, and it's a site that allows you to customize your own textbooks.
Yes.
So the textbooks are up to date, current, because they've been created by other teachers in those fields, and they've been kind of brought together. And they download right into your iPad or your Kindle or your Nook.
Or straight from your computer.
Right from your computer. You can read them on your computer. They're all completely digital. And the neat thing is they're completely customizable. So if you only want one section or two sections, or you just want the beginning and something else in any subject, they have somewhere to begin across the spectrum of K-12.
Yes.
So
I really like that. And I know, Tim, you're coming from California, but frankly, I don't care what California thinks is important for a textbook, and I'm insulted that we have to take whatever California has adopted as a textbook because we're just little North Carolina. So I like being able to create my own content. I really appreciate that.
You know, you are the expert in your field as a AP chemistry teacher, and now as an instructional...
Any of us as instructors.
Correct, and that's where I'm headed. Is like you teachers are and principals are the experts in your field. What a great opportunity!
Experts with your students too.
That too. Maybe you need to push a little harder somewhere, or find another way to describe it, whatever your subject is. So this gives us that opportunity, which is pretty neat. So this allows teachers to remix. I mean, we're not necessarily creating now. Maybe you have created your own textbooks, like actually typed them out. I'm all for that. I think that is great. You definitely share them. Let's get that out there for others to use, which we can talk again about Creative Commons in a second, because I want to share one more thing about this remixing. So here's some, they're called Flexbooks. It's free digital textbooks that people have put out there that you can kind of remix and make your own textbook for your needs at your class. Another one we talked about earlier in our IT Weeklies was the concept of Google Advanced Search and using the file type. One of the neat things, again, creation doesn't have to necessarily mean that you're creating right from scratch, but you're taking ideas that are already out there and you're remixing them and you're remaking them into something new. One of the ideas we shared with Google Advanced Search was you can search for any one of these file formats, from PDFs to PowerPoints to documents, and students can find three types or three PowerPoint presentations on a subject, look at all three of those PowerPoint presentations, and then either create their own, meaning now that they've read those, or compare and create another PowerPoint, comparing and contrasting. And one of the neat things I liked was looking at these different PowerPoints, what was missing. Right. So they can look at these PowerPoints that others have created and say, wow, here's something that was missing. So they have to know the content to create their new content and remix it.
Yeah, and more discussion of that is on IT Weekly 6.
Number 6, that is right. So you can look into that.
With creating your own content, you might start asking, well, why do I want to share this, or how do I protect it and make everyone know that this came from me? Yeah. Well, another weekly podcast we talk about is Creative Commons licensing. IT Weekly number 5 explains how you can create your own license for your work to ensure that people can use it but have to credit you. So check that one out as well.
You know, we started off talking about creating content. It can happen in any media. Okay, we've talked about written media, digital media, video media. We consider these IT weeklies to be kind of us creating content. We're finding ideas and we're working with those ideas. I bounce them off Jake, Jake bounces them off me, we throw them out at you all, and we hope to hear back to kind of, we're thinking this all through together, we're creating, and that's why even on our IT Weekly page we have IT Weekly suggestions. We would like to work with people creating ideas and working through. So
as we know, this is our 12th podcast.
It is.
It really is our 12th podcast.
12th,
like, this is all. No, this is the only time we've actually created. We've created 12 times in podcasting.
In podcasting.
So
right.
I mean, yeah, we are working with this medium as well.
Exactly, and that's
jump in and do.
And that's
what we're saying.
And that's key. Create. So we're going to throw out a couple create ideas. This is one. Create a podcast. We talk about that, I think, on IT Weekly number 2. if
Yes, we
I
do.
believe. IT
Yes.
Weekly number 2, using iPadio. It's one of the ones that we use. So I recommend, just try it. Start up an iPadio, give it a call, talk about something important.
Blogging is another example.
Yeah.
We both do a little bit of blogging.
Yeah,
Probably
try.
not as far as we've got with podcasts
No,
even,
not
but
yet.
we're working on that.
Yep.
And we are excited about blogging opportunities to come in the fall.
Correct. Definitely come in the fall. I might want to check out Kid Blog, so that might be interesting. Twitter. Twitter's a great opportunity. Something I ran across just this past week or two on Twitter from somebody that I follow is working on students creating a book report in 140 characters or less.
That's cool.
140 characters or less, they have to create a book report or a book synopsis or get them important information about. Think about the struggle if you had to do that. So even if they don't have Twitter accounts, that's not the point. The point is you take the concept of Twitter and say, all right, get your idea across as succinctly as possible in 140 characters.
I think about that, and it doesn't even have to be a book report. Read the chapter in a science textbook and then just summarize in 140 words or less, characters or less. I mean, that's a challenge.
That seems quite challenging indeed.
But it's a quick activity. And then get them to share the things that each person found, the creative ways they found to express what they found most important.
We've used, for presentations, PowerPoint for the longest time. There seems to be a lot of tools, Jake. What's another one out there right now?
PowerPoint.
Definitely.
Prezi is a good jumping point from PowerPoint into some other media.
Kind of a Web 2.0 tool.
It's a nice cloud-based presentation tool. To stay in the PowerPoint slide genre, there's Google presentations, and the brilliance of that is the collaborative ability. So you can have multiple people working together at the same time, or individually. You can have students work on that. Of course, they can't access from school.
Not yet.
But we're hopeful.
Yeah.
Also, any school that has interactive whiteboards, be it Smart or Promethean boards, they have presentation software that's more graphic oriented.
Okay.
It's actually far more powerful than PowerPoint. That is something that you could delve into as well. It should be on computers that the students can access.
So using different presentation software is cool.
Yes.
You showed us a video that your students made. We actually had an opportunity last week to see a video that a student made, or actually videoed, edited, produced on his iPod Touch, which was kind of cool. That was working with part of the arts department. It was really neat to see. There are so many different types of ways to produce video that you don't have to have iMovie on a Mac or Movie Maker on a PC.
Most smartphones can do it.
Most smartphones can do it. You've got Animoto out there, and if you just searched for all sorts of different video presentations, was it just last week?
Yeah, we talked about Blabberize.
Last week we talked about Blabberize.
Easy
so
video.
there's different ways to get your ideas across. What's another one?
Well, with the phones, we can take the video. You can also take pictures. You can even do voice memos that way. I mean, students could
Just
record
simple. Yeah, I mean, creation doesn't have to necessarily be
podcast.
this huge production. It can be straight to the point. A different way to create content instead of like writing a paper or.
You read something about Wikipedia?
Yeah, just this last week. It's all up there somewhere in my head. But a teacher actually assigns their students to go and edit or create for Wikipedia. So they have to go into Wikipedia and do it. Sometimes they talk about their city, their home city, because some of those areas have not been edited as much as others. But so Wikipedia is out there. It's open to everybody, and now they're collaborating and creating and sharing.
That's brilliant. I mean, that's 21st century skills right there.
I think our teachers have a lot to share with us as well. We'd love to hear.
I agree.
We'd love to hear about what our teachers have, and our principals, and even other administrators. And we've got an opportunity ahead of us in the beginning of August.
August 2nd and 3rd.
August 2nd and 3rd, our Instructional Technology Conference. We really want you to focus in on this idea that you all have something to share with the entire school district. There's something you're doing, even if you think it's small. We hear about people's ideas all the time. We want to invite you to share your creations.
Yes. So we're actually calling out for presenters, and
Yes.
you can share your ideas at this conference. It's a real easy form to fill out, and let us know what you'd like to present.
Don't be timid.
Seriously.
We would
Any
love.
idea is